All right, welcome. Here we are at our wellness gathering that we're having every Monday at 4 o'clock, and it's health by choice and not by chance, and taking more ownership for your health and your wellness. And just as a disclosure to our conversation today is we do not make any medical claims here, but we are here to provide information and just to get your intrigue going around how, taking different some different responsibility for your health and wellness. So I'd like to introduce Nicole Fortin. She is our guest today, and she's going to be speaking about nutrition. And we have been working through the ownership principle, like I said. And so she is just to give you a little bit of who she is she's a doctor of Chinese medicine. She's a registered massage therapist. She's traveled all over the world and worked in different hospitals all through Asia and different places. And she's also, she just really she has a passion for culture, and she loves languages and traveling. And so she has taken a lot of her training from her travels throughout the world. And she really focuses on a holistic approach for people to help them with their health and wellness and bringing more physical and emotional well-being to their lives. So welcome, Nicole. So maybe tell us about nutrition and how you approach it.
Yeah, I would love to. I like how you preface that with, I do take all the aspects that I've learned and observed through the different cultures and traditions that I've studied, through travels, and I've seen how some different regions approach food differently. And with my training in traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture, there is quite an understanding of food and how we can use food as medicine. So I notice in Asian countries, they're very in tune with that. That's almost something that is they're raised with. Like, for example, I'll just pop in mind, like for women who are menstruating, like they know to avoid really cold foods. Like they wouldn't be eating ice cream in their cycle. They know that it's more damaging to their body at that time. They know how to eat for the seasons. So in like the really hot summer season, what are they consuming to help balance some of that heat? Or in the winter, what are they eating to help, revitalize that warmth to keep their bodies healthy? So this is a whole aspect that I think is very beneficial. We can also use here. And so I do have a very holistic view, and it's more working with someone one-on-one than just textbook, because you can have all the amazing health benefits of garlic, but if you don't like garlic and your body rejects garlic, you're like, that's not a good food for you, So it's like working with somebody on a more personal basis is quite fun, because the way that we look at the body in traditional Chinese medicine is really like a whole system, a whole ecosystem. And so our internal environment, what is our internal environment like in relation to our external environment? So there's a lot more information that we can gather around that and use it to our advantage, because I see this a lot with, Canada's food guide, like initially is, heavy on the grains and the dairies and the meat consumption. And, and we've seen over the years how to adjust that, because maybe it doesn't have as many like long-term health benefits as eating something that's more, plant-based or easier to digest. That's a big one. Is what you're eating digestible? Is it easily digestible, or is it just becoming stuck and stagnant and creating a bit of an excess in your body? Does your body even know what to do with it, right? So I'm not really going to talk much about you should eat this at this time and stay away from all of these foods, because I don't think that that's what it's about. It's my approach is, I really like the approach of And I just did this class around the gap between mood and food, the mood and food. And that gap stands for guts and psychology. So it's connecting our mood with the food that we're eating. So in that class, we were working on intentionally using our intuition to intentionally master the food that we choose, and how that affects our mood. So intentionally working with the two of them. And so, for example, you're really stressed out and have had a hard day or a hard week, and you're really feeling the bitterness of life. And so you're feeling that. So you're in a way looking for the sweetness of life. You want that sweetness. So you'll go to something that's sweet because you really just want to feel comfortable or balanced inside, so looking at that, like, okay, so you've encountered a lot of bitterness in life, what are some ways that you might be able to bring in some sweetness, or some comforting level to you, instead of going for that sweet treat, which is fine, but I think it's just having the awareness of what you're doing that for. What are you going to that food for? Same can be with anything, right? Like, so Chinese medicine, we have 5 elements and they're all relating to each other. Each element has a different flavor or a taste, different emotion, different season, color, taste, smell. So there's lots to go over with that. But I wanted to maybe draw our attention towards the earth element, because the earth element is represented by the stomach and the spleen pancreas. And this is when we eat food, it goes through our mouth, goes into our stomach, right? It's like the gateway. And so, and then the spleen in the stomach is really where like the transformation of the food goes in. The stomach and spleen, they don't really know what you're eating. They're just like picking up on the qualities of it. Like, where is this going to go? How am I going to sort this so my body can use it as energy? And then what am I not needing? And that can be eliminated, so that gets sifted from the small intestine and then out through the large intestine, out through, our integumentary system, the skin and sweat and other excretions, right? Like, we have ways of eliminating what we don't need, and then what we do need and what's utilizable for us, we'll go back into energy. So if you're feeling really tired and fatigued, you might have a disharmony or something not functioning right with that spleen, stomach. It's not really transforming and processing the nutrients that were really going to like fuel you. So instead it leaves you drained. And so again, if you think that, okay, I'm just going to eat this salad, like raw food, because it's light and I know vegetables are good for me. And so you take this in and it's cold, and the body actually has to use more energy. It has to use energy to warm up that food to make it body temperature. So now you've used your precious energy to warm that food inside your body. And then you're going to have to use the energy to then pull it apart. It's raw, so it's hard. It's fibrous. So it takes more energy to pull apart. So now how much energy do you have left for you, right? So I always recommend, this is pretty basic, that the food that we eat should be warmed and pre-digested. So you cut all of that use of energy right there, just by heating up what you're eating. The body can just like go about its business then. Maybe in the summer when it's like really hot, you can get away with some cold foods, right? And ice cream, I know it's delicious, but it's actually probably like the worst thing energetically for the body because it's like cold. But here's where the guts and psychology come in, because like Lorraine was saying, sharing her experience of that homegrown milk, homegrown cream and ice cream. And, so there's that association of heart, like you're doing it, right? You're putting in the work for it. You're maybe doing it with your family, enjoying that time together. You're with the animals, you're, thankful for what they're providing you. Like that changes everything, instead of going for that ice cream bar at the corner store. Like, and so maybe there's part of you that wants to go for that because you miss some of those memories, or you're missing some of that. So it's okay to enjoy some of that stuff, right? But we're just practicing having the awareness of like, what am I going and doing that for? What am I eating that for? So just wanted to, share a little bit of that dynamic change. Wow, that's a fast, probably have to wrap it up here now. Yeah, so the spleen, stomach, though, one thing I really wanted to mention was the nurturing quality of that. That's our earth element. So think about the soil, your soil, and what are you doing to, is your soil rich? Is it, high in minerals and content that's going to help grow that beautiful, lush greenery around you, like the trees and the flowers. And so the soil is very important, but that's also just like nutrition is derived, nurture. So it's more about nurturing. So you're not only nurturing your body, but you're nurturing your spirit and your mind, and just looking at food maybe a little bit differently. And so thank you. I really appreciate coming here to share a little bit of that with you guys today.
That's so awesome, Nicole. I mean, it really makes me think that this earth element is, that's the first thing that is coming in, regardless whether what we're taking in our body, it's going through the earth element. Is that what you're saying?
That's a good question. The earth element, I would say, is we have the 5 elements. So just imagine we have 4 directions, but earth is actually in the middle. So we come back into the earth. So that's why we ground and we like recenter ourselves every time we move. So we move and we reground and we recheck in, we reconnect in. So yes, in a way, everything is going through that earth element.
Got it. Well, thank you so much. It's such a broad scope, and, you've kind of painted a little bit of the value of knowing it from a Chinese perspective, right? Like it is more that gap, like you said, what is it? The gap between mood and food. And then there's the whole nutritional side of things. But really, when I'm more tuned into what am I craving as a taste, and what am I feeling, and am I eating out of automaticity, or am I, really wanting to connect with what will nurture me? And I'm sure it's a very broad subject, but I really appreciate you sharing that. And I'm sure we could do more on nutrition. And I'm just wondering if anyone else has any questions before we wrap it up for Nicole.
Yes, I have a question. That's very interesting to be what you've given us today, Nicole. I certainly appreciate it. And I know that a lot of people eat heavily, seem to, when they get anxious or something or hungry, they're always going to bread. So any comments on the bread element?
Well, bread specifically, I think it's like our bodies, I think we're like operating from our past a lot. So we're going to our past experiences, what has made me feel good in the past, and I think breads, like they're the quick breakdown, right? So they're like instant energy, versus that slow sustained, slow release energy. If that kind of answers it, right? So if you need something like, yeah, I know I could just go on for so long, but.
Awesome. Anyone else have any questions? All right. Well, thank you, Nicole, for coming and just giving us a snippet of what's possible between mood and food, and really, stepping in and sharing with us a little bit from that perspective. And so what we're going to do is, you can stop the recording, right, Mom? And